Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Good evening everybody, once again welcome back to this lesson. I hope that you all are fine and doing great in this new year. And today I'm going to take 2 more pages. You must be wondering, children, why sir is taking 2 pages each. Because children, I have decided to give you line by line details of the lesson so that you are able to master this chapter, because this is one of the most difficult chapters in the syllabus that Cbse has given you. So without much talk, let me come into the lesson. Okay, now let me start here. Look at this. We have done up to here, right? This was the in the top right hand corner, write your index number. Mr. McLeery, the invigilator, was telling Evans to write all these things, index number, okay, and the center number. And as I told you earlier that these numbers are meaningful. It will help you understand the intricate twist of the lesson in the end of the story, right? There was silence for some time. At about this 9:20 a.m. McLeery, I'm now going to Evans. Is not going to stay here, right? Like here is not going to stay here, is it? Like now here it means he, right? Is he not going to? Now he refers to Stephens, S-T-E-P-H-E-N-S, Stephens. He's not going to stay here, is he? Is he going to stay? That means Stephens was there inside the cell with McLeery and Evans. McLeery, I don't know about that. Then Stephens told, Mr. Jackson's given me strict instructions to, he wanted to complete this, to stay in the cell. Evans, how am I supposed to concentrate on my exam with someone breathing down my neck? Christ. Sorry, sir, I didn't mean it. Actually, Evans wanted to say that he could not concentrate in his examination with somebody being present inside his prison cell. So he was a bit worried about that. Actually, students, he never wanted somebody to be inside his cell so that he could not execute his so that he could if there is anybody inside his cell, he could not complete or execute his plan what he was having. I'm telling you, he had a plan to escape, and he was trying to find an excuse and situation so that he could execute his plan. The governor reached for the phone. Actually, governor heard this conversation between Stephens, McLeery and sorry. The governor reached for the phone. Jackson, good. Get Stephens out of the cell, will you? I think we are perhaps overdoing things. Means we are doing something more than what it is needed. As you wish, sir. The governor heard the exchanges. Exchanges means here the conversation. C-O-N-V-E-R-S-A-T-I-O-N-S. Conversations between these persons, or conversations among the people, those who were there. The governor heard the conversations, exchanges in the cell. Heard the door clang once more. Clang is a metallic sound. Clang once more. And heard McLeery announce that the examination had begun at last. It was 9:25 a.m., right? The examination started, and there was a great calm. Calm means quietness. At 9:40 a.m., the examination board rang through the assistant secretary with special responsibility for modern languages. Asked to speak to the governor. Now he wanted to talk to the governor. The examination had already started, no doubt. A quarter of an hour ago. Yes, well, there was a correction slip which some fool had forgotten to place in the examination package. Very brief. Could the governor please? Now, that gentleman who called from the other side of the what is called the phone, he told the governor that there was a correction to be done in the question paper. Now he asked the governor whether he could do that correction. Yes, of course, I will put you straight through to Mr. Jackson in Dewing. Hold the line a minute. Was this the sort of the thing the governor had feared? Now the governor was a little apprehensive that something like this might happen. It may be a hoax call, false call, or somebody else. Was this a sort of thing that governor had feared? Was the phone call a fake, some signal, some secret message? But he could check on that immediately. He dialed the number of the examination board but heard only staccato beeps. Okay, staccato beep is a kind of a sound, when the phone is engaged. It happens mainly with landlines, It is a kind of high-pitched sound, H-I-G-H, high-pitched, P-I-T-C-H-E-D, pitched sound, S-O-U-N-D sound. So staccato, S-T-A-C-C-A-T-O, staccato blips is sound of a line engaged. But then the line was engaged, wasn't it? Yes, not very intelligent. Now he thought himself that he was not very intelligent to doubt about the situation, because he thought, yes, it was really a call from the examination board. Not very intelligent. Now what is not very intelligent? Not very intelligent of himself, right? 2 minutes later, he heard some whispered communications, right, in the cell. And then McLeery's broad Scots voice, right? He was getting the sound of McLeery. Will you please stop writing a wee while, Mr. Evans, and listen carefully? Candidates offering German 021-1 should note the following corrections. On page 3, line 15, the fourth word should be golden, not golden, not golden, and the whole phrase will therefore read Zam goldenen Loven, not Zam golden Loven. I will repeat that. Now this was the correction that had to be done in the examination slip. And children, let me tell you, there was a hint in the examination slip also, and there was a very critical, complex plan was being executed by Evans as well as his friends, and even McLeery. Let me tell you, because McLeery was also the part of his plan, his scheme. And the governor, the poor fellow, he could never understand that the plan was being executed. The governor listened and smiled. He had taken German in the 6th form himself, right? He actually was, when he was a student, he also studied German German in the 6th form himself, and he remembered all about the agreement of adjectives, and so did McLeery, by the sound of the things. For the minister's pronunciation was almost impressive. Who is the minister? McLeery, right? But what's about Evans? He probably didn't know what an adjective was. In fact, Evans was not very interested in his studies. His interest was to escape. The phone rang again. The magistrate court. They needed a prison van and a couple of prison officers. Remand case. Now, remand case. What is a remand case? It is a kind of a case, returning to remand case means returning to the court case to the lower case. Returning a court case to a lower court, right? So it was a remand case. Now it may have different connotation also. Remand means the process of detaining a person who has been arrested. That is also a remand case. Now a couple of prison officers, remand case. That is the reason they wanted a prison van. What is a prison van? It is the van in which the prisoners are taken to the court or from the court to the prison. So they needed a prison van along with 2 prison officers. Remand case. Now what is remand case? Now remand case is, you can say, the process of detaining the prisoner in the prison who is arrested. I mean the prisoner who is arrested. And what is the magistrate court? Magistrate court is the lower court where there is several jurisdictions, all the criminal proceedings start. Okay. All right. So it is, you can say, it is a lower court where there is several jurisdictions, for their criminal proceedings. Okay. Now the phone rang again, and the magistrate court, they needed a prison van and a couple of prison officers. Remand case. And within 2 minutes the governor was wondering whether that could be a hoax. What is hoax? Hoax means again a false call or a fake call, right? Hoax means false call, you can say. Okay. Now hoax means it is a deception also, you can say. He told himself not to be so silly. He tried to be smart. His imagination was beginning to run riot. What is the meaning of run riot? Behave in an uncontrolled manner. B-E-H-A-V-E, behave in an uncontrolled, U-N-C-O-N-T-R-O-L-L-E-D, uncontrolled manner, M-A-N-N-E-R. Okay, so beginning to run riot, it is an idiomatic expression. You can say run riot means, so his brain was not working. His imagination was beginning to run riot, means he was not able to think properly or rationally. Evans, now he thought. Now he started thinking what could be the reason why there was a call, there was again a demand for the prison van, etc., etc. For the first quarter of an hour, Stephens had dutifully peered through the peephole. Dutifully means very carefully. Peered means looked, L-O-O-K-E-D, looked through the peephole. Peephole, you know, the hole in the door, no? When somebody comes, he or she looks through this hole, who is there inside. It is usually in the prison, you find prison hole, peephole. Peered through the peephole at intervals of 1 minute or 2. 1 minute or so. And after that, every 2 minutes, his duty was to. At 10:45 a.m., everything was still all right as he looked through the peephole once more. It took 4 or 5 seconds every time he used to look, for 4 or 5 seconds. No more than that. What was the point? It was always more or less the same. Evans, his pen between his leaves, sat staring straight in front of him towards the door, seeking. Seeking means seeking the answer probably. It seemed some sorely needed inspiration. He wanted an inspiration. Sorely means badly or bitterly. Sorely means B-I-T-T-E-R-L-Y, or you can say badly, B-A-D-L-Y, badly needed inspirations. Inspirations for what? For the answers from somewhere. It happens, no, when we are writing papers in the examination hall, when the answer is not very easy to write, you keep staring up here and there in order to get the answer. From somewhere. And opposite him, McLeery, seated slightly askew. What is the meaning of askew? Askew means, not in a straight or level position, right? Askew means a little bending one side, not in a straight position. Askew means not in straight or level position. From the table now. McLeery seated slightly askew from the table now. His face in semi-profile. Semi-profile means you can see the half portion of the face, no? Semi-profile. You see the side view of a person, right? Side view. Semi-profile. His hair, as Stephens had noticed earlier, amateurishly clipped. Amateurishly, not professionally. Amateurishly means it was not done by somebody who is a professional barber, you can say. Amateurishly clipped. Clipped means cut. pretty closely means very closely, pretty closely to the scalp. What is scalp? Scalp is the skin covering, S-K-I-N, skin, C-O-V-E-R-I-N-G, skins covering our skull. Okay, skin covering our skull. So, so scalp. His eyes behind the pebble lenses. What are pebble lenses? If I draw lenses like this, Gandhiji used to wear this kinds of lenses, pebble lenses, round in shape. His eyes behind the pebble lenses, peering short-sightedly. Peering short-sightedly means looking. Peering means when you look at something short-sightedly. What is the meaning of short-sight? It is, unable to see things clearly unless he or she is taking the object very close to him, right? Close to his eyes. So short-sightedly means he had short-sighted problems, so he used to take the book or paper very close to his eyes in order to read it. So peering short-sightedly at the church times, right? Church times. His right index finger, what is index finger? Index finger means pointing fingers, no? It is used for pointing your fingers at the people. So index finger, it comes after your thumbs, no? Right? Just thumbs, then middle finger, then index finger. Index finger is between the middle and the thumb. So index finger hooked beneath the narrow clerical collar. Narrow clerical collar. As I told you, the clerical, the ministers, the clergy, the Christian priest, they have a special kind of dress and their collars are round shaped like this, right? This type of clerical collar. So this clerical collar, his finger, index finger was hooked beneath the clerical collar, and the fingers of the left hand, the nails, meticulously manicured. Meticulously means very, very carefully. Carefully. C-A-R-E-F-U-L-L-Y. Manicured means trimmed. You can say trimmed. T-R-I-M-M-E-D. Trimmed. And meticulously manicured can be called alliteration. A-L-L-I-T-E-R-A-T-I-O-N. It is a poetic device, children. It is going to come in the examination this time in term 1. You got some questions on the poetic devices. So meticulously manicured, it is a repetition of consonant sound in the beginning of the letter, so it is alliteration. Slowly stroking, again this is also alliteration. Slowly stroking. Stroking means hitting, slightly patting or hitting. The short black beard, slowly talking short. The whole thing can be alliteration again. A-L-L-I-T-E-R-A-T-I-O-N, alliteration. And you can also call it sibilance, S-I-B-I-L-A-N-C-E. What is sibilance? Sibilance is the repetition of the hissing sound, S sound, then Z sound. These are called hissing sound. No. So here S is repeated, S is repeated, S is repeated here 3 times. So you can call this part as a poetic device sibilance, but you must write alliteration in bracket. You will write sibilance because sibilance is a kind of alliteration. Now, slowly stroking the short black beard. Children, once again here B, black beard. This is also alliteration, right? This is also alliteration. Why? Because there is a repetition of B sound. Okay, so lot of poetic devices are there. At 10:50 a.m. the receiver crackled. The receiver crackled. Crackle means it is the sound word, right? You can call it onomatopoeia. O-N-O-M-A-T-O-P-O-E-I-A. Onomatopoeia. It's the word that refers to the sound. It is also a poetic device. The receiver crackle. Crackle is a kind of a noise. You can say made short noise. Receiver started ringing. So crackle to life, and the governor realized he had almost forgotten Evans for a few minutes. Now what is it? Evans. Please, sir. a whisper. Please, sir, louder. Would you mind if I put a blanket round me? Evans told. To whom? To McLeery. Shoulders, okay. Now, what is it? Round me, shoulders, sir. S-H-O-U-L-D-S, shoulders, sir. It's a bit perky in here, isn't it? Perky means here, it is a bit chilly or cold. P-A-R-K-Y, chilly, C-H-I-L-L-Y, chilly or C-O-L-D, cold, yeah. Actually, this is style of Evans talking, no? He doesn't pronounce the whole word properly, and it happens in the Western world. You know, the people, they don't utter all the words fully. Like the Indians, when they speak English, they try to speak all the words, all the letters, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, isn't it? Silence. Evans. There's one on me blank, actually on my bunk. Here, sir, yes, sir. Okay, so it was the style of Evans speaking. Be quick about it. Be quick about it. McLeery told, come on, do it faster. What did he say? That means get the blanket and do your work. Then again there was silence. At 10:51 a.m., Stephens was more than a little surprised to see grey regulation blanket. What is regulation blanket? It is a kind of blanket, US regulation blanket, no? It is issued from 1865. It is a kind of a blanket issued by the US government. You can see US regulation blanket. It is a type of a blanket draped around Evans' shoulder. Draped means covered, okay? Covered round Evans' shoulders. And he frowned. He frowned means frowned slightly, and he means here Stephens, and he frowned slightly and looked at the examinee more closely. Who is examinee? Right? Examinee is Evans. More closely means he tried to look at Evans more closely, but Evans, the pain still between his teeth. He was still chewing the pain. Was staring just as vacantly as before. Emptily means he never had something to write or anything to write, because he was looking sometimes up in the ceiling or looking here and there, chewing the pain or trying to get the idea for his answers. So Stephens noticed all these things, but he also noticed that he had covered himself with a blanket. And what is the kind of blanket? A regulation blanket. What is this? It is US regulation blanket. It was issued from 1865, and this is started, this is a standard issue Civil War blanket, gray in color, right? So it is a special type of blanket, mainly used by the Western soldiers, and US government, they started this kind of blanket distributing among the soldiers. Vacantly as before. Blankly means empty. He never had anything to write. Blankly beneath a blanket. Now, blankly beneath a blanket. Should Stephens report this slide? Now, blankly beneath the blanket. So he was looking vacantly, blankly beneath the blanket. Who was beneath the blanket? Evans was beneath, under. Beneath means under. Should Stephens report the slight irregularity? What was the irregularity? That he was covering himself with a blanket. This is irregular. Anything at all fishy? Anything at all fishy? Fishy means suspicious or doubtful. You can say fishy means suspicious or doubtful. Hadn't Jackson said anything fishy? Hadn't Jackson said means Jackson had already told him that if you find anything fishy or mysterious, suspicious, you will immediately report this. So he thought of doing that. He looked through the peephole once again, and as he did so, Evans pulled the dirty blanket more closely to himself. Evans tried to put the blanket very, very close to himself. Was he planning a sudden Batman leap to suffocate McLeery? Batman leap. You might have seen Batman, no? How the Batman jumps from one side to the other side, and as if flying with his wings. Now here, Stephens is imagining that Evans might jump upon McLeery and suffocate. Suffocate means choke. Choke means stop the breathing system. Strangulate, you can say. Strangulate, suffocate, choke, right? Choke whom? McLeery, and may kill him or may hold him hostage. That is why leap to suffocate McLeery in the blanket. Don't be daft. Daft means fool. Don't be fool. Okay. FOOL, fool. What is the meaning of suffocate? Suffocate means to choke the voice of somebody or breathing system of somebody so that he may die or he may be not able to breathe in properly. And daft means FOOL, fool. There was never any sun on this side of the prison. That means the area where prison Stephen was living, was in the prison, this area there was no sun at all. No heating either. During the summer months, and it could get quite chilly in some of the cells. Chilly means very, very cold in some of the cells. Stephen decided to revert to his earlier every minute observation. Revert means come back. Come back to his earlier every minute observation. At first he was observing Evans every minute, and then he stopped. He thought, okay, he is all right there, no problem. But then again he saw this irregularity. He decided to come back to this 1 minute observation every 1 minute. At 11:20 a.m. the receiver once more crackled across the silence of the governor's office, and McLeery informed Evans that only 5 minutes remained. The examination was almost over now, but something still gnawed. The pronunciation will be gnawed. G will be silent. Now, what is the meaning of gnawed? Something gnawed. Now, here, gnawed means fretted or disturbed. You can say disturbed, disturbed away quietly in the governor's mind. Means governor was a bit worried about something. What? He reached for the phone once more. He once again tried to call, taking the phone. At 11:22 a.m., Jackson shouted along the corridor to Stephens. The governor wanted to speak with him. Hurry, man. Okay. Stephens picked up the phone apprehensively. Apprehensively means when you are apprehensive, you are a little worried or afraid. You can say worriedly. WORRIEDLY. Worriedly, apprehensively. And listened to the rapidly spoken orders. Rapidly means fast spoken orders. By whom? By the governor. Stephens himself was to accompany McLeery to the main prison gate. This was understood. Stephens personally was to make absolutely sure that the door was locked on Evans after McLeery had left the cell. Understood? Understood. Now the information, the instruction came from the governor to Stephens. What? That Stephens should lead McLeery. McLeery is the invigilator, and the examination was about to be over. And after the examination is over, McLeery needs to be escorted right up to the main gate. Okay. So it was the duty given by the governor to Stephens to personally escort him, to take him right up to the prison main gate from where he will go out. To make absolutely sure that the door was locked on Evans, means soon after McLeery goes out, the door should be locked behind, and Evans should be there after McLeery had left the cell. Understood? Understood. At 11:25 a.m. the governor heard the final exchange. Again, exchange means the conversation between the two. Let me do this line also, I think. Now, McLeery, stop writing, please. Stop writing. Silence. Put your sheets in order and see they are correctly numbered. Silence. Scraping of chairs and tables. Scraping means it is the sound of something rubbing on the surface of the floor. Scraping of the chairs and tables. Thank you very much, sir. All right. This is McLeery. All right. Was it Evans? Not too bad. Okay. All right, was it? Not too bad. Good. Mr. Stephens, very loud, huh? The governor heard the door clang for the last time. The examination was over. So, up to this much, children, I will stop. because as I told you that I'll take 2 pages, and I've taken a little more of these pages to continue the sequence of this conversation. That's why I carried on over here. So children, I'll be taking 2 more pages again. It will help you. I know it is getting a bit longer. No matter you take any video, any page number, I'm mentioning the page number with every video so that you can understand which video contains which page, and it will help you understand line by line meaning, poetic connotations, poetic devices, and intricate places where the questions can be set from. So try to read or watch this video minutely so that you understand the lesson very properly. And this lesson has a lot of twists. I will give you a final video where it will be a synopsis of the whole thing and tricky areas which will help you understand in the examination to solve the tricky questions. So dear friends, dear students, dear viewers, thanks a lot for your support and help. You always supported me with your comments, with your shares, with your likings. Once again, I would like to request the same thing. Do support with your likings, with your subscriptions, with your sharing, and that would be a great help for me to upload more new videos in the future. So with that note, I would like to say goodbye, good night, and have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Bye for now.
It sound right, boy.